There's a lot of people out here acting crazy. A lot of people are out here acting crazy. They're acting like they don't have any common sense. People are going out here starting fights. Road rage is out of control. Okay? People that ain't even doing nothing, just mind their business, going about their affairs, and people are just running up on them wanting to start fights. Okay? A lot of that weird energy is taking place as well. So I want you guys to keep your wits about you. How do we get ready? Finesse, I don't know how long you've been following me, but you need to go back to like my previous lives and listen to my previous lives. So I talked about a lot of the stuff happening last year coming into this year. And now here we are in June. So we're like 6 months in, right? So how do you prepare? I'm going to say this. This is one of them situations where you should have been prepared. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. You should have been prepared. We're already past certain stages of waking people. We're past the stage of waking people up. We're past the stage of telling people how to prep. We're now in action mode. We're now in action mode. For those that listen, we're now in action mode. We're actually making certain moves now. Okay, because we understand what's coming. There's going to be a lot of you guys that are not going to understand what's happening to your loved ones. Okay, you're not going to understand what's happening to your loved ones. I want to say this one thing. This is not only going to affect those who went and took certain actions against themselves concerning that injection, but this is also going to affect those who are operating on a lower vibrational frequency. Okay? So you guys definitely need to keep your wits about you starting the 11th of June. Remember, I said this. That is the deadline. The 11th of June is when it starts. It's going to start happening across every major metropolitan city across the country. Okay? You see, I talk about so many things I can't keep track. Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy. But I did this live as a warning. To serve as a warning. This is the year of the nomad. Some of you guys are going to find yourselves in positions where you're not even going to be able to grab your material possessions. You're just going to have to get the hell on. I want you guys to understand that because we're being forced into this new spiritual age, there's certain things that are happening to all of us. The ascension process. Some of us now are really starting to see our bodies become really crystalline because of the silver sun. Also, that silver sun is also making a lot of people sick. Okay? I've heard you guys say that you've been experiencing headaches. I've heard you guys say that you've been experiencing different body aches and pains in the body. That also has a lot to do with the silver sun. And I told you guys this a couple months ago that the silver sun was going to start making people sick. Okay? So you got a couple of different factions or factors that is going on here. Okay? A couple of different things that's going on here. So I want you guys to understand that if you have chosen not to evolve, if you have chosen to continue to still participate in the same things that you were participating in back in 2019, if you are still on this, I want things to get back to normal, then you pretty much missed the 8 ball. If you guys go look at 2 posts I put up on my Instagram, one post was showing the sky splitting. The last post I just put up showed a young lady filming what appears to be a rainbow. But what's funny about that is that when you look directly inside of it, it's very solid. And I asked the question to people and said, what do you think this is? Nibiru is now in our skies. And it's being seen everywhere by everybody. Okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and give you some messages from that perspective as well. So you guys are clear because there's so many things that are going on. 1, the God gene is activating in a lot of us right now. Those that have access to the God gene, it is activating in us big time. A lot of everybody's gifts are coming online. It's kind of crazy. Okay, a lot of stuff like that's happening right now. That's number 1. Number 2, you have a war that's going on above our heads right now where you have a lot of intergalactic stuff going on. You have the Anunnaki and the Illyrians versus the reptilians and mainly the Draconians. Now, we're talking about the malevolent Draconians. Okay? You have that going on right now. And they are vying for position of this planet. Now, I'm going to let you know, the same like I told my group last night when I had a conversation with them last night on my live on Telegram. I'm going to make you guys aware of something because these folks that think they're in charge are not going to be in charge for long. Okay? But at the same time, that being said, that doesn't necessarily make it a good thing for us either. Okay, because you have to understand the type of predatory energy that we're dealing with here. Okay, now the Anunnakis made it very clear about their position. They made it clear that they're going to exterminate. They're exterminating that is unnatural to the planet. The whole bloodline got to go. That was what was explained to me. These beings don't have any type of emotions. They don't have any type of feelings like we do. They don't operate in that space. So there's no negotiation. The way they see it is that when they first left this place, the way it is now is not the way it was when they left it. And they already know who's responsible for it. So I'm just putting those individuals on notice so they're aware, so they can get ready to start prepping and getting ready to pack their bags. So this is going to be a long next 10 years for some folk. Okay? Now, that being said, though, what they're looking to do is reestablish the old kingdoms. That's not going to be beneficial to us. Okay? That's not going to be beneficial to us because if you know anything about the Anunnaki, they are a very predatory race. They are a dark energy type of race. They are predatorial and they don't give a damn about nobody but their own agenda. Now, their children are here. They are coming to collect some of their children. Not everybody is their children, but they are coming to collect their children up. This is real. Okay? But I want to make sure you're clear. These particular galactic beings are not your savior. These beings are not your savior. I want you guys to get out of the mindset of savior syndrome. Now, for those of you that talked about the so-called fake alien stage invasion and what have you, let me explain to you what's really going on here. First of all, it's very short-sighted for anybody to entertain such a notion only because there's always been intergalactic beings within planet Earth from the beginning. Your first wave ancient ancestors are intergalactic. They are very galactic. I'm talking about the ancient ones. When you start praying and you call down your ancestors and you ask for the benevolent ancestors to come forth between the mother and the father side, and you tell them to go all the way back to the first of creation, the very first beings, they are galactic. When Atlantis was around, they were intergalactic. Okay? When Babylon was around, they were intergalactic. When Egypt was around, they were intergalactic. So you have to understand your positioning and what your ancestry really is. You have to understand how powerful your ancestors are because they're the ones who put those galactics in position. Why is that? Because we're the ones who created them. And that's the unspoken secret that's not being told to anyone. So if you want to know why you're being hated on, the reason why you're being hated on is because of what I just told you. So if you want to connect to something on an intergalactic level, tune into your ancestors. That's the only place that you need to tune into, because they're the ones not going to leave you hanging. They're not the ones going to run. That's not going to run bullshit on you. They're the ones that's going to keep 100 with you all the way across the board. They're the ones that's not going to abandon you. Okay. They're not going to lead you astray. Okay. That's bottom line. Now, I stand on the back of my ancestors, the first ones to the ones that are currently present right now. We are living ancestors. Make sure you're clear about that. So I'm calling on the bloodline of everybody on this channel tonight that's listening to this live. And for those of you that are feeling the energy of the ancestors at this time, if you're feeling the energy, it's because I'm here to deliver the message from the Egungun, from the ancestors, to activate every single last one of you. Now is the time for everybody to raise up. Now is the time for everybody to raise up. It is a must. You don't have a choice. There is a war over our heads. There is a war on this planet. And no longer can you sit up here and put your head in the sand and pretend like you still have cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance will get your ass killed out here. Period. Okay? I'm just going to give it to you raw tonight. I know you feel the chills on your skin, baby, because I'm over here activating y'all. I know. I'm having a real conversation with y'all tonight. Because I don't know when I'm going to come back and do another live again. I got my own stuff I got to get together. I got my own moves that I got to make now. So I ain't got time to be worrying about everybody else. So I'm putting this transmission out there. And that transmission is basically, it's time now. It's time, y'all. It's time for y'all to get it together. Okay? I suggest that a lot of you guys start getting survival kits, first aid kits, tents. Live in tents, tent homes. Start researching. And this is not a joke. Okay? Now, this was set in motion specifically a certain way. Okay? Because the timelines have been sped up. Every time these negative beings speed up a timeline, our cosmic divine ancestors turn around and speed up the timeline ahead of them. Why is this being done? To smack them off, to shake them off their square. That's why it's being done. It's getting to the point now where people are now reporting seeing clouds in the sky, and then they're seeing lights or windows in the clouds. That's how ridiculous it's starting to get now. Where now you guys can literally see these ships in the sky. There's no hiding with this anymore. All this, oh, you're crazy. All this, oh, well, I don't want to hear what you have to say. All of that bullshit. Let me tell you something. This planet is splitting. And they're not telling you anything about this. The Schumann resonance has been off the chain. The planet is splitting right in front of your faces. You have beings on this planet right now that are looking to take down the actual firmament. And then it's happening. The matrix that you know of today is changing. Okay? It is happening. And the thing is that now that everybody's seeing Nibiru in the sky, I want you guys to be clear about something. The Anunnaki been here before you even saw the Nibiru. It's just that now they're letting you know we're here. And we're coming back to reclaim what belongs to us. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. No negotiation. Our military doesn't have the power, the wherewithal. These beings do not die. They don't have it. They don't have it. It is what it is. If you guys want to get a vision of what they look like, all you got to do is look at the larger statues in Egypt, the bigger ones, and you will see them. Pull up your pictures, go through your little thing, and search on your little Google or whatever, and pull up large statues in Egypt. And then you'll see the Anunnaki, and you'll see what they look like. Okay? But there is no negotiation. They made their position very clear to me on that. But I also understand what they're on. And I also understand how suppressive they are. I also understand that as well. So here's how this is going to go. And here's how this is going to play out. For those of you whose gifts that are coming online right now, as long as you're operating in a higher vibrational place, you're going to transition into the new earth. Okay? I asked you earlier when I put that video up, that last video up on my Instagram, what do you think this is? Okay? So I want you to critically think now because I'm giving you some hints and I'm telling you some things. Now, let me come back to this. Those of you that are currently coming online with your gifts, that is what the new earth is going to look like. I want you guys to understand that this particular one that we're in right now is done. And there's a lot of people that are completely earthbound that ain't going to be able to make it out. But for those of you that are currently activated, for those of you that have had their gifts come online, for those of you that are having different experiences of your DNA activation, of your God gene activating, all those things, you are going to be the ones that's going to be leading the new earth. That is what that's going to be all about. And it's going to be very spiritual there. That means that the whole love of material possessions and things like that, that won't matter. Which is the reason why a lot of you are going to go into nomad mode. A lot of you are already on nomad mode because you already prepped. You already saw what time it was ahead of time. You was able to pay attention. You didn't ignore the signs. You paid attention to every single sign that's been going on around you. And you made the necessary moves. And you also understood that you had to make a sacrifice of your material possessions to get to where you need to get to. Whether you stay here in the United States or you go outside the country, as long as you're in a position of being safe, places like the wilderness where there's not a lot of civilization, you're going to want to be there. Now, I'm going to let you know right now, this situation that's starting on June 11th is going to be straight up a 10-year run. Damn, family members been dropping dead left and right, and ones that's still around are zombies for real, for real. Lady brothers, and there you go. Boom. So if you want to know what's going to go down on June 11th, she just said it. I didn't say it, but she said it. I just read the comment out loud. Okay? Okay. Now, you have a lot of individuals that are soulless. I told you guys about the programs. I said, look, you got program beings, programs. These are beings that don't have a soul. Then you have programmed beings, which are beings that have a soul, but they've been so programmed and so brainwashed that they're out, they can't see the forest from the trees, but they do have the ability to come out of it if the right circumstances present itself for them to be able to catch something that wakes them up. Okay? That is the difference. They are able to come out of it. All right? Apocalypse simply means revealing. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of revelation that's going to come about. Also, in July, remember what I told you about July, but see, there's things I left out about July that's going to take place. I didn't tell you guys everything about July. Okay? I didn't tell you everything about July. But I want you guys to understand that this is all orchestrated and planned. And it is a plan that they're setting in motion because the way they see it is, if they got to go, they are going to destroy everything that they possibly can for everybody else that inherits this place. What they don't realize is that there's a lot of us that ain't going to be here on this earth. A lot of us are going to be on another earth. Okay? Those beings are going to be stuck here on this earth. And they can deal with the consequences of such actions by the beings that are here to reclaim it back. They can deal with that. Good luck with that. See, if you're moving against certain cosmic laws and rules, karma is a very real thing, and you are subjugated to that. Okay? You are subjugated to that. When you make a conscious decision, no matter what kind of being that you are, whether you are a galactic being, whether you are a human being, or whatever the hell you are, when you make a conscious decision to engage in a particular act, you're going into a contract. Okay? And I talked about this on my live on Telegram yesterday about contracts and contract laws and how that actually applies all throughout the entire universe. Okay? You're not going to find my name on Telegram because it's private. Follow instructions. Go to the link tree in the bio, click it, and click the little thing and go in and do what you got to do. Okay? Instagram got that little thing up there. You might be seeing that little thing that Instagram says, oh, well, just so you know you're leaving the page, but it's telling you that you're going to the link tree. Go to the link tree, click the link that says my Telegram channel, and bring your ass in. Ryu, you said covenants. Contracts. Okay? Ain't no covenant whenever you come to destroy a lot of shit. This is a contract. Now, I need you guys to understand something. The beings that they're fighting against, these beings, you have certain individuals that are in power that are easily possessed by these particular types of beings that are what we call planet killers. Okay? Draconians have a known history of destroying entire planets. Okay? Now, you have benevolent Draconians that ain't on that, but then you have malevolent Draconians that are very much on that. Okay? So Draconians are planet killers. That's what they are. They come in, they destroy entire planets, they get off on it, that's what they enjoy, and then they go on to the next planet, and they look and take all the resources from that planet, and then blow that planet to smithereens and keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. This is a very common thing for Draconians, the malevolent versions of them. Okay? Now, I want to explain something to you, because I'm about to go real galactic on y'all. Real super galactic on y'all. Because I probably going to lose some of y'all. I get it. I'm probably going to lose some of y'all. All right. But I want to explain something to you about how powerful your godhood is and why it's important. Number one, when you clean out the karmic cycles of a person's life that's currently relevant to the lifetime that they're currently living in, what happens is their gifts come online. Their gifts come online. All right. Everything opens up for that individual because the karma actually blocks those from receiving all the gifts that they're supposed to have. That's number one. Number two, you have what you call higher aspects and then lower aspects. 4D is your lower aspects. 5D and above are your higher aspects. Okay? Now, to keep the balance, because we live in a duality universe, you'll keep your lower aspects, your 4D aspects. You won't elevate those. You'll leave those alone, so that way you can keep a balance as you're operating in the universe. Okay? Your higher aspects is what you have contracts with. Some of those higher aspects can be Anunnaki. You may have 5 or 6 different higher aspects. It might be an Andromeda angel. It might be a dragon. It might be something totally different, Arcturian. It might be someone from Sirius, a being from Sirius. It depends on what your reincarnations were, where you're reincarnating along many lifetimes, right? So these particular aspects is what makes up the whole of who you are. Okay? It makes up the whole of who you are. Now, you have some higher aspects that don't have your best interests at heart, in which case you would need to elevate that aspect to get them to where you need them to be. And then you have higher aspects that want to help you and assist you. This is what we call the higher mind. Okay, you've heard the term higher selves, the higher mind. Okay, then you also have the deity. In our tradition that I practice, which is called Ifa, we call it Ori, the deity. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys grew up in religion. I know a lot of you guys thought that you were less than what you really are, but the truth of the matter is you are a universal divine being, and you're very, very powerful. Okay, but the one thing that has weakened a lot of people is the fact that they have turned away from the ones that have been guiding them from the very beginning, even since birth, which is the ancestors, all the way back to the first ones. Okay, all the way back to the first ones.